To the latest developments now into that deadly attack on a medical facility in Afghanistan. Doctors Without Borders and the International Committee of the Red Cross are calling for an independent investigation. The medical charity says it suffered its biggest loss of life last Saturday. 22 people, including medical staff and children, were killed by a U.S. airstrike. And today, President Barack Obama has apologized. Eyewitness News analyst Lieutenant General Reginald Centracchio joins us now in studio. General Campbell has continued to change his story here, now telling the Senate Armed Services Committee the attack on that hospital in Kunduz was authorized within the U.S. chain of command, but targeting the hospital is an unexplained mistake. What do you make of that?
I make that we had been talking about the necessity of having reliable troops on the ground to be able to identify targets that would be considered for an attack or certainly be the subject of a particular airstrike. We're depending upon, in this particular case, as I understand it, Afghans to identify those targets going through the chain of command, being authorized and obviously executing that fire mission. In this particular case, it was a hospital and it was a medical facility, obviously. That is of concern because if we don't have reliable intelligence to tell us which targets are viable and which targets are legit, we will continue to have the problem.
Is this a trust factor with the Afghans, or are they just inexperienced? They can't give the right info?
I think it's a combination, certainly, of inexperience, trust, and we've seen several times where the Afghan army itself has turned upon the United States. So I'm not sure, and I'm not suggesting that would be the case here, but that's always a possibility. So consequently, I think you'll see a significant change in policy.
General Campbell also brought down the takedown of troops from 10,000 to 1,000. He's thinking now that we should keep those troops in there.
And rightly so. Since that decision was made to bring it down from 10,000 to 1,000, several significant things have happened, specifically Taliban, Al-Qaeda, and the introduction of ISIS. All three were not in place of significance when that decision was made. So if you take it down to 1,000, all we'll have is enough troops to maintain the embassy and not enough security for the rest of the story.
All right, the general has more on a website, including what's going on with Russia and Syria. It's on WPRI.com.